The Doki Doki Literature Club fandom is a small yet thriving online community. Upon a first glance, the fandom seems like a supportive and wholesome place to be a part of, but over the past few years, the once uplifting community has become plagued with drama and controversy that only seems to get worse as the years pass. From an obsessed Monika fan harassing a content creator, to a mod team covering up a developer's predatory behavior, to the community harassing artists potentially resulting in them taking their own life. These are even more of the most disturbing incidents in the DDLC fandom. In the last video, I talked about wholesome, a community of people who are in love with a fictional character. More specifically, a Reddit user who was addicted to Monika and playing the DDLC mod Monika Afterstory, as well as briefly looked at some other users who were questioning if their attraction towards Monika had gone too far. Something that all these users had in common was that they were able to realize their attraction towards a fictional character had become unhealthy for them, and were able to separate fiction from reality. But what happens when people don't make that separation and begin to harass others all in the name of their fictional love? Vannamelon is a YouTuber with 1.7 million subscribers. She primarily makes gaming focused content, with some of her most popular videos being whenever she roleplays as a character, usually involving said character playing a game or reacting to a piece of media. On October 30th, 2020, Vannamelon would upload her first video roleplaying as Yuri, with that video amassing over 1 million views. She would continue to portray Yuri in her videos until December of 2021, when she started to roleplay as Monika. Her portrayal as Monika would end up becoming a staple of her channel, and her interpretation of the character would grow popular among DDLC fans. Although this would eventually start to take a turn when on March 17th, 2023, Vannamelon would upload a video titled Please Stop. In the video, she talks about how she's been getting harassed by an obsessed Monika fan due to her portrayal as Monika in her Valentine's Day video.
Back on Valentine's Day, I made a Monika video where in its story, Monika goes on character.ai and gets taken over by that version of her. And ever since Valentine's Day, there has been a creepy Monika hyperfan that has been harassing me practically every single day, everywhere, ever since, because that Monika got replaced.
The obsessed fan would not only leave comments under the original video, but would even go as far as to leave comments and messages on Vannamelon's Twitter, email, and even donate to her Ko-fi, all just to tell her that he didn't support her content and that she was a terrible person for killing off Monika in that video.
He has left up to 100 comments, spamming the same thing over and over everywhere, replying to everybody on every video, stuff like this. Usually, people who do stuff like this are kids, but I know for a fact this guy isn't. What really got me to make this video is that this dude donated money to my Ko-fi multiple times in a row just to try to contact me so he can rant about what I did to my Monika. That's honestly the first time someone supported my content like that multiple times just to tell me that he doesn't support my content. And then of course, after all that hate, now he wants a refund. This is a donation to request a refund for this donation. What the heck?
Throughout the rest of the video, Vannamelon would bring up the point of distinguishing fiction from reality, as well as her own experience playing DDLC and how she goes about making her interpretation of Monika. About a year later, in a now deleted video, Vannamelon would announce that she is quitting making DDLC content on her channel, and that she'll no longer be playing the character of Monika, stating that the character had put her in some uncomfortable parasocial situations that ended up going too far. Combined with some personal issues, would end up making her retire from DDLC content. Although she would start to incorporate DDLC related content back into her channel, her portrayal as Monika has yet to return, and most likely won't return for the foreseeable future. Overzealous fans ended up becoming too attached not with her as a creator but with the character she was playing. And while Vannamelon never mentioned any specific incidents, seeing how one fan was willing to stop at nothing to harass her over her portrayal as Monika, one can only imagine the type of situations she was put into by over-obsessed Monika fans. On January 2nd, 2021, a Reddit user by the name of MyLastWitchout would make a post to the DDLC mod subreddit, showing off a teaser for the upcoming mod Purple Troubles. The teaser only consisted of the mod's logo, although it being labeled as an NSFW mod, as well as its accompanying tagline, "I love her and she fucks for money," would set up some red flags for some users. The mod's tagline and lack of any description would leave many fans confused, although some would become suspicious and were able to piece together what the mod was potentially about. It would only take 6 days for the suspicions to be confirmed, as on January 8th the mod would be officially released, and would immediately garner a negative reaction from the community. The mod's main premise is that after falling under hard times, Yuri resorts to prostitution to make money, with the MC accidentally discovering this, telling the club, then the whole school finding out, eventually leading to Yuri taking her own life. All the while, the mod presents itself as a humorous shitpost. As I mentioned before, Purple Troubles would immediately be received negatively with comments such as, "This is not good, like really not good. I'm never playing this mod ever. Yuri is a prostitute. A high schooler is a prostitute. Disgusting. Haven't actually played this mod, watched Acorn's playthrough of the whole thing, and Christ, this was way too for its own good." As well as many more similar comments summing up the general consensus around the mod. Many fans would rightfully find the mod's main concept of a high schooler becoming a prostitute disgusting, and while the characters in DDLC are of legal age, it still doesn't make this concept any less disturbing. Combine this with the fact that the mod is meant to be a shitpost, not meant to be taken seriously, akin to other mods such as Pink Eyes, starting out as some sort of joke before turning into something disturbing. This was made clear in the mod's release post. After some days of hard work and other small problems, modification Purple Troubles is done. Purple Troubles is absolutely serious mod where Yuri is, you know who she is here. But the difference between Purple Troubles and Pink Eyes is that it's very obvious that Pink Eyes is meant to be satire and is making fun of a lot of tropes that can be found in DDLC mods, while Purple Troubles continues its joking tone even when it's revealed that Yuri is a prostitute and even after her death. The mod has the MC and especially Monika shame Yuri for selling her body, and just overall treats a very serious topic that does unfortunately happen in the real world as nothing but a backdrop to tell a joke. I don't even know what the joke is supposed to be. At least with Pink Eyes there was an actual point to the mod, while Purple Troubles doesn't have that. It's just a poorly made and thought out mod. Honestly, I don't have much else to say about this one. Purple Troubles is just really bad. Usually I don't like hating on other people's fan works, but I generally don't understand how someone could like or even defend this mod. One of the core staples of the DDLC fandom is the modding community. It's one of the most active and creative parts of the fandom, with a lot of mods being produced becoming some of the most beloved pieces of DDLC media, and it's not hard to see why. With there being over 500 mods available to download, all spanning different genres, there is a near endless amount of mod content you can play through. Probably one of the most popular of these genres are the afterstory mods. Named after the first DDLC mod, Monika Afterstory, these mods take DDLC's third act and expand upon it. Essentially, they're just girlfriend simulators, with the only real difference being the specific character you interact with and some of the quote-unquote gameplay mechanics, if you can really even call these mechanics. The most popular of these mods is the aforementioned Monika Afterstory, with a close second being the mod Just Yuri. Created sometime in early 2018, Just Yuri was released in what is considered to be the peak of DDLC and DDLC modding content, and has since garnered a large following, especially here on YouTube. But despite the mod's popularity and status as an early contributor to the modding scene, Just Yuri had actually gotten banned from the DDMC in 2021, with the only way you can download it being on the dev team's Twitter or the mod's official Discord server. But why? Why was such a popular and arguably important mod suddenly become blacklisted? On May 12th of that year, Reddit user Gangster King of SA, one of the main moderators of the DDMC subreddit, would make a post-tout statement regarding Just Yuri and Forever and Ever. The post explained that the lead developer behind the mod had engaged in inappropriate activities with one of the team members, who was a minor at the time, resulting in Just Yuri and their other mod Forever and Ever being banned. Recently, we received a post made on our subreddit on our Discord which claimed that the project lead of Just Yuri and Forever and Ever engaged in very inappropriate behavior towards a team member who is a minor in DMs. After receiving the evidence by the original Reddit post author, on behalf of the victim and doing our own investigations, we believe that there is significant proof to state that the project lead of Just Yuri did engage in these activities on their own development team, and have taken action against it. Due to this, the project lead of Just Yuri and Forever and Ever is banned from the community, and Just Yuri for the time being, along with Forever and Ever, has been banned from the community. We understand Just Yuri and Forever and Ever are favorited mods by some people in the community, but unfortunately we cannot allow these projects in the community with the lead dev still on the team whatsoever. This is yet another reminder that this type of behavior is unacceptable in the DDLC modding community. Whether it is in the subreddit, Discord, or your own modding community, you will risk a ban from the community if you partake in such activities. If you or someone else knows about any inappropriate behavior happening within a mods community or here on the subreddit/Discord, please DM Reddit staff via mod mail so we can be notified and take action to these reports as fast as possible. Try to avoid making public posts about this and send it to the team in DMs or mod mail so we can handle these types of reports more efficiently. The banning of Just Yuri would disappoint many within the community, and ironically enough, this was nearly a year after the Emerald Heart situation, which I talked about in my previous video, where its developer Mario was exposed for similar predatory behavior. Although what makes the Just Yuri situation different from the Emerald Heart incident is that it wasn't just one person behind the mod, it was a whole team, which led many to ask if the lead developer was removed from the team, could the mod be unbanned? Well, we would get an answer just a few hours later when Gangster King of SA made a follow-up post titled Update on the Just Yuri and Forever and Ever situation. After our initial statement on Just Yuri and Forever and Ever, we wanted to update the community of what has been going on as of late. Initially, we thought this mod was being developed by the former lead of Just Yuri based on what we received, but after talking to the Forever and Ever mod members, we were clarified about the Forever and Ever situation regarding the actual developer of the mod. After this clarification, the original mod author of Forever and Ever, Alex in DDOS, now has Forever and Ever back under his hands from the Just Yuri dev team, and we can proudly say that Forever and Ever is unbanned from the community. We sincerely apologize for the unexpected ban and such, and hope your mod development process goes well. After the initial ban, the Just Yuri team decided to conduct a second investigation about the case, and found that their lead developer was guilty of the allegations and removed him from the development team, and is now banned from the community. Due to this, we can now say Just Yuri is unbanned from the community. With this, we welcome back these two mods to the community. I thank the Forever and Ever for their clarification on their mod team, and Just Yuri for doing the right choice. Just Yuri was unbanned from the DMC after the lead developer involved, Clifford, was removed from the development team. The next day, the victim involved would make an official statement about the situation, revealing some new details about the case, such as that they were 15 years old at the time, and that the rest of the mod team had apparently known for 2 years, and had essentially done nothing trying to cover up the entire situation. I noticed that one of the devs has commented on the moderator's post regarding banning JY. One thing he said in that comment was that some of my messages were deleted, so the conversation was one-sided. This is completely false. If you look at the screenshots, you can see that I have said stuff in chat and in voice calls. Nothing on my end was deleted or messed with in any way, apart from censoring my name in yellow. Another thing that was said, we haven't seen these screenshots. Bullshit. I have sent 2 separate lead devs links to a Google Drive where every single screenshot that was shared on here was found. I don't know if this is just them trying to cover themselves or some kind of communication error among the team and he generally didn't see them, which happens a lot in JY. Those 2 leads that I have mentioned have definitely seen all the screenshots, and they did have enough power to remove Clifford, but they didn't even with the evidence. They did demote him though. I was forced to quit Just Yuri because I felt unsafe working there even with him demoted. I wanted to warn others about Clifford because I was concerned that he would do this to another minor, but I don't know how to do that without dragging this drama into it, which I just didn't want at all. Later that same day, screenshots of the Just Yuri's team Discord messages leaked, proving that they did know about Clifford's behavior and that they were indeed trying to cover it up, as Clifford had provided major support for the mod, with them choosing to prioritize the mod's success over the safety of a minor, which is crazy. The next day, on May 14th, Just Yuri would be banned once again, this time permanently, in light of this new evidence. As of the time of me recording this, Just Yuri seems to remain in the state of limbo. Its Twitter hasn't been updated since 2023, and its development has slowed significantly. The only positive thing I can really say is that the mod seems to have switched development teams, although I can't be entirely sure, so don't take my word on that. In my previous video, I talked about disturbing and discussing DDLC fanfiction known in the community as the Sayonara fanfic, a fetish-adjacent fanfiction that has since become a piece of lost media. In that video, I called it one of the most disturbing pieces of DDLC media ever created, and while I still do agree with that statement, I was made aware in the comments about another fanfic that could honestly top Sayonara, or at the very least come really close. The fanfiction titled In Sheep's Clothing was posted on February 21st, 2021 on the site fanfiction.net. Its description reads as the following. The player awakens in a game with no memory on how he arrived. His name, Michael. Upon meeting him, Monika celebrates. Their relation, however, is proven to be horribly, tragically mistaken. The description doesn't really give us much to go off of, and on the surface it doesn't seem too disturbing. It seems like a regular fanfic. But the warning right after pretty much tells you exactly what this fanfic is going to be about. The fanfic starts off relatively normal, with the MC entering the DDLC world, Monika being excited that the 2 of them can finally be together. The 2 of them then explore the world and eventually find themselves in Sayori's room, presumably after she had taken her own life. The MC starts to get angry and decides that Monika needs to be punished for her actions, eventually resulting in the MC f***ing her. I'm gonna read the smallest excerpt from the fanfiction, but just like Sayonara, I don't recommend that you read this at all. His fist tightened. Was he angry? If he was, Monika understood. She deserved to be punished for what she'd done. If he wanted to yell at her or curse her out, she'll accept it. He walked over to her. Hey Monika. He gripped her waist and shoved her down face first onto the bed. He pressed his knee on her back so she couldn't move. Michael, what are you I can hate that I share a name with this f***ing MC. I'm stuck in some goddamn video game world with just one other person. A girl who I can do anything to since nobody else can stop me. What the f***? I'm reading this out loud for the first time. What the f*** is this? What? and who's crazy hot. I'm doing what most other guys would be too decent to try? At least with a sayonara fanfic, you can make the smallest argument that's just someone's fictional fantasy, as concerning as that fantasy may be. But with this, I honestly don't see how you could defend this, fictional fantasy or not. Especially with how the actual act is presented in the fanfiction as a punishment that Monika deserves. It's fucking gross and disturbing. What the fuck is this fandom even about anymore? One of the ways the DDLC community has managed to remain active for all these years is through the use of fan-oriented content. Just like any other online community, DDLC has an abundance of fan-made media, ranging from mods, fan fiction, fan comics, fan videos, etc. You can look at any corner of the fandom and you'll surely find a piece of fan media. Fan art is one of the most popular and most common forms of fan media that you'll encounter, with multiple different artists establishing themselves within the community, with one of these artists being a Twitter user known as Sunball. Joining the platform in May of 2023, Sunball would start to garner a following for her work, more specifically for her Yuri x MC fan art. Many fans found her art style to be cute, as well as some just being excited that someone was actively drawing art of their favorite ship. Sunball's audience and reputation within the community would continue to grow over the course of the next 5 months, until October 2nd, when she announced that she would be deactivating her Twitter for seemingly no reason, disappointing a lot of her followers and fans. But it would also leave many to wonder as to why she decided to deactivate her account. Well, we wouldn't have to wait long for an explanation, as on the same day a post was made to the DDLC subreddit by user Nikori, titled about the artist Sunball, where they would share a potential reason as to why she deactivated her socials. Hello everyone, I don't know if I can post this here, but today I opened Reddit to see the news that this artist has deleted her Twitter/X account, but why? My theory is that maybe because the original artist of the drawings she plagiarized reached out to her. I noticed this about the artist and her art some days ago, thanks to a drawing being posted on here, and contacted the original artist in the way I could let them know. The funny thing is that the original artist had just asked her to delete the traced drawings, not the entire account. It must be guilt. How do I know it was traced and copied? I have proof. In Nikori's post, they would accuse Sunball of tracing art from another Twitter artist, with them providing evidence to back up the claim. And yeah, you can definitely see some of the similarities between Sunball's art and the art that was allegedly stolen. While it's not fully confirmed if Sunball did plagiarize, the accusation laid out with the evidence would change the perception of Sunball in the eyes of many fans. We think she closed her account because she either felt guilty or wanted to avoid any potential backlash once all this came to light. Damn, it would have been less of a problem if she said that she used them as inspiration and credited the artist. But even then, that's a little more than inspiration. She's clearly capable of drawing if you look at her older art. Either way, I hope Sunball and the artist resolve this in good terms. This is very disappointing. Copying others' work without providing proper credit is never okay. I won't delete Sunball's work from the DDLC fan art archive I've been making, however I have included a screenshot of this post and a link for some context. Many users shared their disappointment towards the situation, but ultimately most of them simply moved on, and the Sunball drama remained dormant until about 7 days later. On October 9th, Sunball's Twitter would be reactivated, with someone claiming to be her sister posting a tweet that would devastate many fans within the community. Good day, I'm sending this tweet in behalf of my sister Sunball, who passed away a few days ago. I'm really sorry for the mistake my sister made. I know she didn't mean to cause any harm, but I understand it was wrong. I want to apologize to everyone and make sure they know that I take these things very seriously. I hope people will forgive her. Please understand that my sister is a good person. Thank you for listening, and I'm very sorry for the sad news. While no details about her death were shared, many came to the conclusion that due to the negative reception that Sunball's reputation had garnered and some harassment she had received from the community, she had taken her own life. Word about Sunball's death spread throughout the DDLC community, and many fans would start to mourn the death of the artist, viewing the whole situation as a piece of drama that had gone too far, with Sunball's Twitter getting deactivated once again and later deleted. This whole situation had spiraled out of control, eventually reaching an unfortunate end with someone taking their own life. Although in March of 2024 there would be some evidence that suggests Sunball is actually still alive. But with how complicated and messy the situation has gotten, and the fact that it's really difficult to confirm if any of these claims are even true, the community is split between believing that Sunball had actually passed away, or that she had faked her death in order to avoid any negative backlash. Regardless of which outcome is true, the fact that the community had taken a simple incident and helped escalate it to an extreme such as this is nonetheless disturbing, with this probably being one of the biggest stains in the DDLC fandom's reputation. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you think I've earned your subscription, then go ahead and subscribe. It's free and you can undo at any time. If you want to see more of the disturbing side of the DDLC community, then check out part 1 of this series if you haven't already. If you have any suggestions as to what I should make next, leave a comment down below. Otherwise, I'll see y'all in the next video.